Welcome to Pillars of Eternity, episode 3. Yes. Yes, episode 3. I'm Nud, the pacifist sword. And we are following Yolotli, as she ventures, as she, I guess at this point, just seeks to repair her ship so she can chase Eothis across the islands. In the last episode, she got to know the townspeople a whole lot better. And now she's gonna do favors for those townspeople. We haven't talked to this woman. I forget what she does. I don't think she's very interesting. Elturia.
Ado, begging your pardon for the mess, miss. We are still recovering from the storm. We have supplies here for the paying customer. Provisions for the road, perhaps? Have a look.
Yeah, well, she does have ale. Ale is good. Death's Maw. Strange tablet. Let's take the strange tablet. I don't know why. We're just gonna take it. Great. Alright, let's be on our way. Port shop, that's the supply. So, I can buy everything from here. The Valiant Hullbreaker. Whoa. That's cool. How much does it cost? Not that much, actually. We'll worry about that later. We're first gonna go to the little Huana town. That is 3 hours away. And for some reason, even though it is clearly outside of Port Maje, I have to walk through the town to get to it. It's not like it's not like if I were outside the town I could go to the adjacent village like everything else on the world map. I have to walk through the town to get to it, even though it's clearly outside of the domains of the town. And it's night. I think this town is pretty good at presenting you the idea that people are going to respond to you differently depending on who you are. If you are Juana, that is to say, Amawa from the Deadfire Arpeggio, they'll comment on that. If you're Pale Elf, they'll comment that they don't see you around very much. And what does she say here? Seated upon a chair before a bonfire, Ikawa looks considerably more comfortable here than in her home village. Here in her home village. She prods absently at the coals with a long stick. Kawa's lined face is pocketed with fading scars, but there's no hostility in her calm appraisal as you approach.
They told me what became of your ship. I say again that you are lucky. It is the only ship that survives. I could protect Port Maje, or else its ships, but not both. Perhaps Clario thinks I chose poorly.
Did your people see the giant?
Yes, one of the old titans, say the priests. Andra is angry, though why, our priests do not know. I am only glad it has journeyed elsewhere.
The giant is Eothis. I need to know where he's going.
Eothis? Is it redemption you seek, then? You risk much to chase a god across the sea. The Dawn Stars too wish to meet this god. What if he does not wish to be found?
I can't really respond to that, can I? Let's just shift gears. Mokeha is causing trouble in town. Ikawa sighs deeply and folds her hands in her lap.
Mokeha is proud, like her father. Each day this alliance tests her patience. What has happened?
Sorry, I had to blow my nose briefly. She nearly killed a man.
Mokeha could have killed him, if she wished to. Is it not enough that he lives?
She lives in your village. She's your responsibility.
If you wish something from Mokeha, my advice is to trade for it. Is that not how the outsiders get everything they need?
Oh. Do I sense a bit of xenophobia? Sorry, I was just messaging my girlfriend. She is on vacation with her sister. Oh! She actually moves! Totally didn't notice that. Let's find Mokeha. I've never actually been here at night. People actually go away at night. Oh, there's still... Oh! Oh no, that's not Mokeha. That's the highest of the Juana cast. On the one hand, it's interesting that there's no one that is really stainless in the Deadfire. Even the Juana who seem like they're being invaded, sometimes their traditional way of life is kind of like even the salesman is gone. Even the Juana, whose traditional way of life, sometimes, especially from like a modern, realistic perspective, realistic democratic perspective, seems unfair that you are born into a position that you cannot possibly sort of move out of, all at the same time. Sometimes I find the world to be a little bit overly cynical. Like, there's no really good people. I mean, one could argue that different characters believe they are doing good things, but there always seems to be an overtone of, like, I'm pretending that I'm telling you to do this good thing, but really there's some very personal benefits at stake.
What for do you skulk around in the dark? Do you not sleep?
Cool.
What for do you skulk around in the dark? Do you not sleep?
Well... what are we gonna do now? Come at a rather inopportune time.
I've been dreaming about a priest that died, then rose again. What do you think that means? I see him walking Aora. Nothing but bones, lit by the flames of his soul.
Well, Xoti, that did not take up enough of our time. Maybe we could rest on the beach, but it seems awful stupid. Rest until morning. Name? I didn't notice this woman.
Amira's winds blow sweet upon you.
Who doesn't say
Indeed.
anything to me? We could, I mean, like, we could wait on the beach. We can only wait on the beach, which seems even more stupid. Gosh darn it. Do we come back and deal with this after the dig site then? Ah, criminy. At least we get morning. Yeah, 8 o'clock. If everyone's not up at 8 o'clock. There we go. Does Name have anything better to say to me?
Amura's winds blow sweet upon you.
No, you're just named for no good reason. Usually characters present some usefulness if they're named. Where is this woman? Is she still sleeping? Jeez. Wait! That's her. Go, Yolotli. The Amao woman steps sideways, angling herself towards you, and meets your gaze with an intense stare. I imagine that's like bent at some sort of 90-degree angle.
I do not know you.
Her voice is quiet, but each word is clipped and harsh.
You were looking for Kawa?
I gotta do it. I heard you like picking on people smaller than you. Mokeha blinks slowly, her stony expression unchanged. After a few heartbeats, she frowns. Her frown deepens to an impressive scowl.
The Valian. He offers you coin and you come to fight his battles for him.
She spits on the ground between you.
I will tell that skinny little cheat to send the gold to your family.
So you admit to beating him?
Yes, and so? I say he earned worse, yet I was merciful. Ikawa told me I should see the tavern, speak with their people, learn patience. The trader Eophania, she taught me to play Valian cards. A simple game, but none would play with me in the tavern. Not until Rinco. I thought him kind until I proved the victor, and he grew angry. Until he stood in front of his kin and called me a Mataru of Satahuzi, a filthy islander and a cheat.
Yeah, he's a bit of a prick.
For that, yes, I beat him. Why does this concern you?
Without that coin, Rinco will lose his home. Yeah, I'm not doing the whole keep the coin purse thing. It identifies with my dispositions, but I'm not going to do it. Without that coin, Rinco will lose his home.
Don't be foolish. Clario will see to him.
That's not how it works. The Valians have to pay for their food and pay taxes.
His kinsmen would let him starve?
Mokeha's brows furrow and her eyes search your face.
Why did this not prevent him playing at cards in the first place? Are all Valians so mad for coin? So then, what am I to do? I did not wish him dead.
Give me the coin purse, and we'll call it square.
Huh. Then here's what you came for, though it is an uneven trade.
She considers the coin purse in her hand for a moment before handing it to you. Her mouth twists in a resentful frown.
I will ask our chieftain to send a healer for that idiot Valian. Perhaps that will quiet his whimpering.
So yeah, I didn't choose the benevolent option either. It seemed to make more sense to try and help Mokeha to understand Valian culture rather than to talk about his child, even though the game considers that making reference to his child is more benevolent. Oh wait! I want to stay here. I want to talk to the trader, see if she's got any goods that I want. Eophania.
Fancy a look at the wares, my friend?
You're a bit out of the way, aren't you?
Cozy spot, right? Not much competition apart from the basket lady. And the Hawana have coin to spend and goods to trade, same as the rest.
Let me see what you have.
Best goods on the island.
Just have these sandals are like the only useful thing. 750. I like rounded numbers. Give +1 result. What is I don't know. Stride represents how quickly a character can run in combat, with higher scores covering more ground. How do I know how much stride I have already? Because I'm not seeing it. Where would I find this out? Oh, look at that. Deep Faith plus 12.7 to all defenses. We're working on it. We're working on it. I feel like it would be here, linked to dexterity, my stride. Or would it be athletics? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna take the
Fancy a
sandals
look
for
at the
now.
wares, my friend?
see what
Best
you
goods
have.
on the island.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you. Except, not really. Trade. Could always use some more resolve and... Oh, my sandals look just like boots! Okay, so... I could go to Garichi Street, but sometimes I find it a little bit difficult at this point. And if I weren't recording, I feel like I would be okay with getting into a dangerous situation, but I don't really want to make a jerk of myself. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. If we come in from a different part, I think we might come in from a different part. If we don't come in from like the top, then it's a little bit easier. They kind of hit hard. The Garichi Street thugs. So you make your way through the side streets of Port Maje. You come upon visible traces of the storm's passing. Many of the houses here boast cracked window panes and sagging awnings, and you pass narrow streets strewn with foliage and debris. The cobblestones beneath your feet are still slick with water and silt. Before long, you are ankle deep in the sucking mud of the loose stones. The flooding only worsens up ahead, where the water level rises to the knees. Most of Port Maje's residents have fled this region for dry land. But the murmur of raised voices ahead and the occasional splash suggests that you are not entirely alone.
Yes?
It would be awfully un-roleplay-y for me to set a trap. All the same, I'm gonna do it. These two are gonna kind of come forward a little bit.
Could be trouble.
Oh,
Mowing. The honor.
Stand together. Yeah.
just got like a lot of people hitting at you. And it's just a bit rough. Though we're not doing too bad. What is condemning? Dazed for 8 seconds. That's a good spell.
Thick worth broth.
Maybe we can. Oh yeah.
Interesting. Take this.
I don't think I can pull that off.
Stand together.
See this wad with his rifle. I've not used sworn enemy at all during this. Oh, and there is the kill cam. A new addition to the game. Here we go. I guess we did make it through. +1 perception, darkest before the dawn. You know, it's hard to not sort of be selfish in these games, because I'm like, well, I'm the hero, so I'm gonna give myself the best stuff first, right? Though I'll probably give up that perception thing once I start to get something that is a little bit more like relevant to my character's stronger stats, stronger abilities. Sorry. Gotta chat with this guy. What's up, brah?
Something must be wrong with my vision. No matter how much I blink, I cannot make out more than blurry lights in the darkness. You are quite blinding.
I'm sorry, but you're dead. Come with me. I'll help you.
Dead? Oh, but this is terrible.
Spirit sighs. Wispy, shoulders slumping.
Let me ease this one's pain, Watcher.
Dark eyes solemn. Xoti circles her lantern around the departed soul. Great!
Certainly.
That went swimmingly. It was a wee bit of a challenge for our weak frames at this point, but we still made her through. Throw it back there. This is an interesting new addition.
Nothing but endless grey mist. This is not the afterlife I was promised.
Not yet, at least.
You seem to know where you are going.
The soul crosses ethereal arms over her chest.
Watcher, you're talking to a lost soul, aren't you? I'll just shine them the light real quick.
The lantern rattles as Xoti swings it overzealously between you, siphoning the spirit's essence. We got a chat with Xoti. She wants to talk about a lot of different
weight
things.
in my lantern now. Almost feel like I can hear the soul when I jostle it around. With every soul, my lantern's getting heavier and heavier in my hand.
How are you feeling? Have you suffered any recent nightmares?
I did, recently with you. You were walking the depths of the ocean, but you didn't drown. And in your hand, you gripped the key to Eora's end.
Your face alights with fierceness.
I've seen stars wreathing a statue's brow, and souls flowing like tears over gleaming Audra. And then my god headed into the heart of the storm, where he could find the darkness. Tell me what's on your mind?
Should you be swearing so much as a priestess?
Reckon not.
She grins wide and confident.
But I can't help but be a touch wayward. I don't take it too far. My mom caught me once necking in the Merkberry stalks. And of course I fight. But I've not done much more than that. And I don't use the real ugly words.
She waggles her sickle around in a helpless sort of gesture.
Sometimes the feelings, they just come tumbling right out of me. Gods darn it.
And Tyr points affably in approval. I've asked this question a lot of times with a lot of different characters. My perspective, I don't really care what Xoti thinks about Eothis, but Yolotli does care what she thinks about Eothis. What are your thoughts on Eothis?
We talking during the Saints' War or after he died?
What's the difference?
Well, before he died, he was still Eothis as the majority of my brethren know him. Eothis embodied a human, and when that human got blown to bits, we all believed Eothis died.
Eder is pleased because of the pro-Eothasian talk.
And I think a part of him did. The part he'd most closely woven into living flesh. The part that represented life and rebirth after death. Which means the part of him that could have survived, that stormed across the Deadfire seas, was the side more aligned with obsidian, rot, and falling away. That which is death.
Tell me about Eothis leading up to and during the Saints' War.
I really only know what my folks taught me.
She scratches the back of her head, hesitant.
Eothis embodied Saint Widwin, but during the war, he got blown to bits. That's the thing about human bodies. Eventually, they all gotta die. As the god of rebirth, of course, Eothis would be coming back. But where I differ from my family's view, and my high priestess's view, is that I've studied the apotheosis of Gone. And I know all about the backside, the downward swoop, the death part of the cycle of life. Obsidian, rot, regrowth. What's gone can never be again. What comes back is changed. Always. Even if what comes back is a god.
Seems like she focuses mostly on obsidian and rot and rarely on regrowth. What's your take on Eothis following the Saints' War?
Then you mean gone. Sure, maybe my god still answers to Eothis as well. Why not? But Eothis died, and death requires change. He ain't what he was. Not in exactly the same way. That's why I think his other aspect, his darkness in the light, is what's burning brighter in him now.
Let's speak of something else.
No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening.
That's all for now.
It's time I got about searching for lost souls.
She nods. There we go. Oh, we need everyone.
What can I do?
I don't like how this quest ends.
Careful. One bad step out here and you drown, Aimika.
This is because I'm an Orlan. He's implying that I'm not tall enough to go through some of the deep spots. Kind of a jerk. Or a very polite gesture. The young elf's hand drops the pistol at his belt, palming the grip, the faintest hint of a sneer about his lips as he watches you, unblinking. Savia sent me. She needs you to put a stop to the looting. Ilari snorts, his nose wrinkling. He regards you for a moment longer in expectant silence. He then throws his head back, letting out a braying, unpleasant laugh.
Merle, she must be desperate. Not so desperate as to come here on her knees to beg for herself, but she sent you. No, there's my answer. I get my cut. There's no sense in ruining a good thing.
So, I can either flat out attack him, I can pay him off, which seems like I'm giving him exactly what he wants, or I can suggest that he helps her out and Savia will owe him a favor, which essentially puts Savia under his, thumb a little bit. All of which are just annoying outcomes. But I'm going to go with help her out this once and Savio will owe you a favor. I know from having done this several times that Savio will be pleased with this outcome.
A favor? Merle, I should buy her dinner, maybe.
Mid-chortle, Ilari's brow draws together. He runs a thumb along his jaw, frowning.
Done. I'll do it. Bon piacco. Can't be too bad, having a commander in your pocket. Tell Savia this isn't permanent. Second the water clears up and things are back to normal, we're through. I'll spread the word. Gorechi Street is under lawful protection now.
There we go. Let us return to Port Maje Harbor, and we will first go to Rinco's home. Rinco is a turd of a turd of a turd. Yeah. I can't help but wish that he got his a little bit without, it being so harsh as he'll say he'll lose his home if he doesn't get his money back, but goodness, this is clearly Rinco being a turd.
Most days I'd fire up the kettle for you or something. Sorry.
I spoke to Mokeha. She claims that she won fairly, and you insulted her.
A surprise! The brute speaks! And you have survived the conversation in one piece. Merla. Perhaps my tongue was loosened by drink. What of it? Is any man who insults the savage's pride due a beating? The law is on my side.
It might help if you didn't call them savages.
I refer only to Mokeha, that shark-faced harpy. May Andra's beasts feast upon her eyes.
Rinco thrashes feebly in his bed, one fist raised defiantly.
She cheated me. Are we to lose our home for the sake of Clario's alliance?
Here. Mokeha apologized and returned your money.
She what?
He eyes the coin purse in his hand, then angles a one-eyed glower up at you.
Let her apologize to my face, the shark spawn. Merla. What good is an apology? Does it fix my ear? Enough then. I am forgiving. You have what I asked for. I promised you a share of the coin. We leave it at that. You have saved my family, Aimika. I say it plain. Agrasima.
His head drops back onto the pillow, and he raises his arm in a weak gesture of farewell. I mean, so, A, she didn't apologize. She was very clear that she would send a healer, but wouldn't apologize. And B, though we claimed that she apologized, he's still a jerk about it. Ugh. Glad to be rid of this house. Now let's go to the jail. Amira protect you. Who's Amira again? Oof. There's a cage in the middle of the town. That's not good. That can't be for good things.
Keeping out of trouble? A little jest. What is it?
I convinced Delari to keep watch on Gourshi Street.
Perfetto. He's a little shitne, but a lazy one. He will not cause trouble if he does not have to.
He's must. I mean, well done. And don't swear. Trying to keep this family friendly.
Easier to work with a familiar face for the moment. I can deal with him later. So, we have one small part of Port Maje under control. A good start. Well, here you are, for your time. If I had 10 women like you, the whole of Port Maje would be set right within the week.
Goodness. I really don't want to take Rumdum Rajare on the ship. And you know what? He can sit in there. Savia's a really reasonable woman. I thought to try and free him, but not take him on the ship, but I think he'll only be there for a little while. Now we leave the town. I think we'll go as far as the dig site. We'll make it to the dig site. And then Edo, commoner. They do seem to get along. Like the people you can't talk to do seem to get along. Oh, I forgot. We can chat with the Dawn Stars. We can get a blessing.
You watch over her, you hear? That's one of ours whose fate you've taken into your hands.
I will.
For God's sake, I don't need Nanny in Wangliff. I've reaped more with my 2 hands than you'll dream in a lifetime.
And you've pride in that?
Head shaking, she turns to you.
Do you see why she needs guarding? You must shield her light. Do not let her lose it or her life. Do you seek a blessing from the light?
We're looking for someone who came out this way years back.
If it's a fellow missionary you seek, then you might talk with Nordegand at the temple in Nekataka. She's been around a while. Knows more of us than most anyone else.
But I also wanted the blessing, but that was good.
Xoti! Blessed child, you returned to the flock! What news do you bring us from the High Priestess?
What? No.
Don't get comfy, 'cause I ain't here to stay. I'm finally doing Gon's will, thanks to the Watcher.
This implies that we spend an awful lot of time in the close proximity of death, which is a boon for Xoti.
So I now see.
Frowning, the priestess takes her time, lighting one golden candle, then another.
Do you seek a blessing from the light?
I would like a blessing, yes. The priestess's entire expression brightens, lit by a holy righteousness.
You chose wisely. Endurance is the path to perfection. Hand me your palm. We'll strengthen your spirit through tribulation.
The woman, this is kind of sadistic. The woman snatches for your wrist with a fervent strength. Her fingers are cold, unrelenting, and tight, but the candle flame that she presses to your skin is white hot, instantly singeing.
This flame lacks the flicker of guidance, but it will purify both flesh and soul. Let the pain absolve your sins.
I chose one, but it's not speech. I'm holding my hand. An acrid smell assaults your nose as smoke curls up from your skin. Fur. The pain is constant, jabbing the tip of the flame, needling at your nerves until your fingers begin to shake uncontrollably.
And now for the benediction. What I speak, you repeat after me.
This would have been a good place to stick in, not really a resolve check, but just maybe a description based on your resolve.
Godly Redeemer and bringer of light, who shepherds his flock through the labyrinth of hell. Though you currently rest in peace, we remain devoted until the time of your revival. We believe In your coming rebirth, in the restoration of your holy greatness. And we now beseech you.
Gonna keep holding our hand over the flame. The fire continues to eat through the flesh and muscle, digging into the bone. What is this? Traditional. Oh dear, you've got some things you have not told me.
To banish the shadows of the unfaithful and wash away the sins of our past.
Godly redeemer and bringer of the light. Without so much as a movement from either of you, the flame suddenly snuffs out. Wingleth nods and rubs a glob of wax into the wound.
Good. The light accepted you for its host. Go and be well. Walk within the light, and you shall not falter.
With a flick of her fingers, she spatters you with golden wax. There we go! We got a little blessing! Yeah! Plus 50% healing done and plus 2 religion. I gotta come back here a lot. I mean, mostly for the healing, not so much for the religion. And here we go, on foot, out of town. Which takes an unbelievable amount of time. I did not check how much time it took. We're gonna skip the Apoho Waro Woods for now. Maybe we'll go south. More south. Just to this farm here. Buy everything they have. There we go. We'll need that when we eventually get our ship. Oh, footprints, you say? The trail before you seems thoroughly disturbed by erratic tracks, sparse plants to the immediate sides of the path, roughly mangled. A struggle may have occurred here. Search the area. I mean, yo. How much do I have? Oh, perception is 15 right now. Eder makes sense of the chaos within moments. No blood spatters suggest it was not a fight, and your compatriot easily identifies the clawed prints of Zurups. The tracks seem recent. A dry and ropey vine has been pulled taut across the path and inexpertly covered in dirt. Beyond, a group of robed figures cringe and cower by a nearby river's bend. Each is frozen in place, ashen and gray, like statues crafted of soot. Disarm the trap. Once again, the honor goes to Eder. Eder quietly disarms the trap and collects its component parts. Search for Zurups. You hear a series of quiet chirps and growls ahead. You make out the movement of small forms through the undergrowth. Now, an important point that I want to point out that I don't believe I've pointed out yet is that Yolotli definitely believes in evil. She believes in evil kith and evil creatures, and believes that it is neither cruel nor wrong to smite them down. In fact, if a kith proves to be evil, like really evil, or creatures that are generally considered as evil, then it is not a malevolent act to strike them down. And we are going to draw our weapon. Oh, you hear a series of quiet chirps and growls ahead. You make out the movement of small forms through the undergrowth. Draw your weapons and attack. So in this situation, we're gonna kill the Zerubs because Yolotli believes that Zerubs are evil. But later on in her journeys, those beliefs may be tested.
Take this! Exceed honor! That hit true.
Yeah, this is like hardly even a fight, right? And you don't really get much stuff for it. You get some pyrite. If you felt like skipping all of this, you could do it. I should have gotten a blunderbuss for Xoti. But right now, just right now, I am going to give her this pistol in her offhand. I'm also going to take her shield to her offhand. You can actually, through her quest, you can upgrade her lantern. I just don't. She's just. When she's on the front lines, her speciality seems to be dying, which it'd be super nice to avoid that. So. So that's why I have her wield a blunderbuss. I think it's blunderbuss. Maybe I'm just thinking of the movie Looper, which was a good movie. In within dig site. There's nothing this way, I don't think. Maybe there is. Because it's actually... Oh, there is. It's actually a long way down. Ale? It's like, here's a couple bottles of brew. Alright. I'm going to end this video here. And in the next video, we will be just inside the Engwithan dig site. Like, just at the beginning of it. So, till next time, I've been your host, Nud, the Pacifist Sword, and we have been adventuring with Yolotli across the Deadfire, and more specifically, Port Maje, Tyre Island, called Port Maje. Rather colonial sentiment, is it not? Roll credits, and have a good evening.